Hi everybody, this is Patrick Profit at Jack Kane Ford. And as we roll into 2020 and the 2020 vehicles start making it here onto the lot, what I wanted to do was show you how the sync system has changed and what you'd expect by getting a vehicle with sync version. It's still sync 3, but the version is 3.4, as I'll show you here soon, and it looks different. It's a little cleaner. Some of the functionality has changed a little bit. One thing I do want you to notice, if you have a vehicle, this is a 2019 or 2020 Explorer Limited. The Platinum version actually has a much larger screen, a 10.5-inch screen that incorporates kind of 2 levels to it. But most of the 2020 vehicles will have this version of sync, and so the functionality will be the same. One big thing to notice first off is even with the higher level vehicle as in a Limited Explorer, what they've taken off is on the big screen here is the climate control. If you look along the bottom there, audio, phone, navigation, app settings, those are all now at the bottom, as opposed to having climate in there. And you'll see here they have all the climate controls down here. A lot of people were I guess struggling with using the climate control there on the screen while driving, and so with buttons that you can actually feel without looking down and understand what they mean, they felt like that was necessary. Now, any changes you make to the climate will show up on the screen, turning temperature up or down, fan speed showing up there as well. So that's kind of nice that you do still get to see that, but otherwise all the controls for climate are down here. Your radio controls are still very limited as far as buttons and stuff, because a lot of it's going to be done up here on the steering wheel. But this is your new home screen. Okay, looks a lot like the Sync 3 that you, if you have been using it or seen it before. If you have navigations, you have the map here, and then what you're listening to media-wise there, and the information about your phone there. That's my phone connected. That's Little Monster. So that's kind of the same. Up across the top, you have your home button as before. Your set temperatures for inside, 77 to 79 degrees. For a dual zone, if it was just a one zone AC, you would just have the one there, as well as the time and outside temperature there across the top. So what I want to do is also going to walk through each individual section real quick, let you see what's involved and what you can do with them. As well, you also have your current it's transmitting vehicle data there. You are your cell signal there, and the Wi-Fi signal to the vehicle there as well. So let's work our way across the bottom here. Audio. A couple things that go on with this. You can see here, this is on Sirius satellite radio, the highway station. You'll see that this looks a lot different from an AM and FM screen, because if I go here to FM, if there's not a whole lot of information provided by that station, see like this one here, Sidewalk Profits K-Love, that's all it's going to show. But on the Sirius side, you have all this, you have the picture, the album, singer, all that stuff. And what you can do is you can get notifications, whether a Thomas Rhett song or if that song comes up, or you can make decisions from there. Or you can rewind, pause the song, and listen to it all the way if you don't want to miss it as you stop the vehicle and you have to go somewhere. Let's see. But again, if you just have AM and FM like that. Now, one of the nice changes is here, you don't have to change your sources to get to your preset for that source. What you have are 2 different lists of presets, 5 apiece, and just like before, you can hold and save a preset like that. And so you have 10 presets between all 3 sources, Sirius, AM, and FM. So you can transition between them seamlessly, which is very nice. So that's the media section. On the phone, all kind of very self-explanatory. Recent calls, you can search your contacts, what to phone. You can go between different phones if you have multiple ones, manage your contacts, do some settings for the phone there, as well as get some nice notifications and change your ringtone for the vehicle. You can change phone. You can put in do not disturb. You can just go to a straight keypad and type in a number. Your text message, you can see what text messages you have, as well as phone voice assistant, if I can get that out. That's using that Ford Plus Alexa app, and do the smart home stuff if you are so inclined. On navigation, this is a navigation home screen, and if you wait a minute, you'll see that the controls drop down to give you a little bit more visual of the map, just like that there. And so to be able to control it, you can pop up the controls and hit menu. You can change your screen view to see any upcoming exits, show what traffic is available, your navigation settings as far as like how you want your routes to go. Where are you? You can get a latitude and latitude, as well as cross street for where you're at. You can search for adult locations, look at some history that you've searched up, favorites that you might have saved, points of interest, and then you have your home and work addresses that you can just quickly click to, and the navigation goes there. You can zoom in and out and decide if you want to point north or if you want to point in the direction you're heading. So there you go. That's your navigation controls. Apps are a little tricky with the usage of Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. A lot of these different phones, you have to disable those particular functions to have apps that show up here. So I'll get to using Android Auto here in just a minute, but sometimes you'll see apps like music apps, Pandora, and stuff like that, and they won't show up until you actually start using them on the phone, and then they'll come up there. And finally, here, settings. 3 levels of settings here. Sound, that's your balancing and fading, front, back, and your mixer. Clock, you change your clock. Your Bluetooth settings, phone settings, radio, driver assistance, which kind of goes through a bunch of different technologies that you would normally have there, but they've now moved them to this menu here, make it easier to see. Things like lane keeping, cruise control, adaptive cruise control, rear view camera, and the like, even blind spot information system. Vehicle settings, remote start, my key, easy and entry exit, and power lift gate, wipers, windows, mirrors, things that the vehicle might have some control over on its own, but it needs your approval. Those type of things can be adjusted there in the vehicle settings. FordPass Connect is actually how you would go through activating your Wi-Fi hotspot that you do have 3 months, 3 gigabytes free if you buy a new vehicle. General settings, do want to show you this. General display, like how do you want, what measures and units you want to use. But you also have the About Sync. There you go, 3.4 is the version. And it brings me kind of to a couple down the line here. You can connect to Wi-Fi for the vehicle for automatic updates. Any updates that will be available for this Sync version, you will be able to do automatically through Wi-Fi if you so choose. Mobile apps, again, that kind of goes back to that apps and how it's used between Android Auto. And then your display settings, whether you want it night mode or day mode, or if you want it to switch in between, and kind of some interesting backgrounds as well. So you could change to, again, some different backgrounds, make it a little bit more personal for yourself. Voice control, it just kind of lets you know if it gives you some options as far as repeating things back to you, and what they call advanced mode, where they don't do any of that. You just go and it does what it tells you, what you tell it to do. Of course, valet mode. Anybody that's used valet modes or valet keys before, that's just simply putting it in a valet mode there, and it doesn't turn off until you put in a sequence of numbers and things to turn it off. Ambient lighting, you can change your ambient lighting around your feet. And then the navigation settings are the same as what the settings were on on the navigation part. So there you go. That is kind of just a brief walkthrough there of Sync 3 version 3.4. For those of you who have new vehicles or looking to get new Ford vehicles, that's what you can expect. And if you have any questions, you can contact me here at Jack Kane Ford at 859-873-6666. Just ask for Patrick Profit. I'm your technology specialist. Thank you, and have a great day.